It was a brand new apartment building, considered a luxury apartment building. I wanted to live there. I didn't know how I was going to live there. I was fresh back from Atlanta, probably like $400. So one of the things that I used to do during that period, because it was like, it took less than a year, which is crazy because I thought it was going to take longer for me to get on my feet. One of the things that I did was post images of what of the apartment, posted the car, and sometimes when I masturbated, those would be right there in front of me while I'm masturbating. And while I am about to, is coming proper?
Yeah,
while I'm about to come, I start being grateful and I start getting really excited and feeling how it is to have those things. That is a form of sex magic. It's real. Now has anyone heard of erotic alchemy? That is also a form of sex magic. Pascal Beverly Randolph, if you look in our stories, you'll see we posted a picture of him. He was actually a mulatto. So
let me put out a picture of $1 million and get it popping.
Girl, yes, I'm telling you, it's serious. And that's exactly.
Envision that $1 million right there when you go to the ATM.
And if that's exactly what's on my wall now. Is money. It's some other things that's on my wall that I'm not ready to share yet. But I've been masturbating doing that, and I am eventually going to add a sex partner to help me bring those visualizations to life, because I really believe in it. Now, if you have an understanding of manifestation and you have an understanding of the fact that to manifest anything, you cannot be wrapped up in your current situation. You have to. I always tell people, especially when I see people online complaining or being mad about something or scared about something, I say the most important thing for you to do while manifesting is stay happy and stay strong, no matter what the fuck is going on, because you've already asked for it. Things are already in play. The universe, God, the higher power, everything is already being moved around. You can't see how it's being moved around. So you sometimes will think, oh, I lost a job and it ain't gonna happen for me. Now I ain't gonna be able to do this. But little do you forgot 6 months ago when you was really angry and you had all that anger, emotion, energy, because everything is energy. Right. And every emotion, whether it's sad, whether it's happy, if it's strong enough and it comes from a deep, passionate thing, then you're drawing it to you. So 6 months ago, you said, I can't stand this fucking job. I just want a fucking new job. I want a better job. I want a better boss. And then poof, you lose your job. Right. And you sitting there sad and crying, and the universe laughing at you, God laughing at you, because God's like, she don't even remember that she said she wanted a new job. Now you're at this point, you gotta be in that mindset where you can just surrender and stay happy.
Right, because that's another part of manifestation too, is not trying to figure out where or how or the little intricacies on where this thing is that you want it's coming from. You have to know in your mind, like, once you try to manifest it, you have to let it go.
Yes. And that is why it's so easy to manifest while you're masturbating or having
because
sex.
once you come,
you're like, baby, I don't give a fuck about that.
All of that shit. All that other shit. Fuck all that other shit. Now we back.
And I can't wait to implement it, like, with a partner, with a steady partner. Like, I know one lady, she says while her and her partner are having sex and they're like at the climax stage, they yell out manifestations to each other. Affirmations. They yell out affirmations.
But that's the same thing. Sometimes when you come, you yell out somebody's name. And that's why they won't leave you alone. Because you're just drawing them further and further, closer and closer to you.
Also, I just want to let y'all know, look up Pascal Beverly Randolph. He was a mixed race. He was a medical doctor. This guy is so interesting that I cannot wait to go home and read more about him. He was for freeing the slaves. He visited Africa, and when he came back, this was in the 1800s, so he was ahead of his time. He was a part of an occult. He believed in sex magic. Some of the stuff that he said, I wish I would have wrote it down. Like, he believed in the woman that a man picks, she has to be a divine, like, into her divine feminine. Like, before all, like, cause now we're all into this. But he was speaking about this in the 1800s. And he was speaking about how powerful it is to be with a woman who knows how to be connected to her body and her sexuality, because she's going to help you manifest your dreams and your desires. Like, can you just imagine being with a woman who is a divine goddess, who knows her energy, who knows her power, and you come to her and you like, babe, I got this vision of this business I want to start. And she's all for it, and y'all talking about it on a business plan, but then later on that night during sex,
she like, babe.
Yes.
So we about to open up this business.
Right. But I really loved reading about him. He is also someone who, once some of the slaves were free, he taught the slaves how to read. I also want to say that I learned about sex magic about 3 to 4 years ago. So I'm still new with it. It's still stuff that I'm learning about. What's up, Mandy? They also have books on sex magic. This guy, Pascal, he actually has a book out about sex magic. So I have a few questions if anybody wants to answer them. I'll start with Kalita. Do you believe sex is spiritual?
I think that sex has spiritual aspects to it. Sex is about like 3 or 4 things. Sex is for pleasure. Sex is to procreate. Sex is magic. And sex is transferring to energy as well. So for me, do I believe that it's spiritual? Yes. I think that it has spiritual aspects to it. Yes.
Yeah, I believe that sex is very spiritual. What I've been reading lately is that spirituality is your soul in the physical form. Sexuality and sex is spirituality, and I was trying to explain how they said it. It's in the spiritual form. Like when you have sex, some people believe that that is the closest you reach to interacting with the divine. Like you are the closest with the divine when you are having sex. How do you feel about that? I believe it's true because sex is so... When you think about sex and what sex can produce an entire human, a whole soul. So for people to
minimize
think that
sex is, right,
and to try to separate it from religion and separate it from spirituality.
Wait, religion and spirituality, you can't put religion and spirituality in the same book.
Okay. We'll agree to disagree. But when people say religion and spirituality and sex, they all have to be separate things. It's impossible. God created sex. So how can you say sexuality and sex have to be separate from spirituality? How can you say there's no place for sex in religion? And then you still believe in God when if you believe in God as the creator of all things, then God created sex. God knew how powerful sex was going to be. The orgasm, all of that. God created all of that. So how are you separating those two? We lost some people because they like, these bitches is fucking crazy. They talk about sex magic. They talk about blood. They talk about... They talk about everything. Leave comments. Do y'all believe that sex is spirituality? Do you believe sex is spiritual? Do you believe that sex is a spiritual act? I personally do believe it's a sexual act. Yes. Thank you, Rick Sean. Big fact. They're all
intertwined. But
they're all intertwined.
I don't like putting